Good evening. Those of you who are still in the foyer, please feel free to come on in and find a place to sit. I'm Gail Beebe, president of Westmont College, and it's our privilege to welcome you to campus for this service of remembrance. Years ago, Viktor Frankl, the award-winning author of Man's Search for Meaning, said that he who has a why to live can bear with almost any how. And as we gather tonight, we are so aware of the sufferings that we endured as a community and as families 2 years ago today. As much as we wish we could push the suffering away, tonight is an opportunity for us to remember the contribution that the people we've lost made to our own life, and in that develop a capacity to love and extend ourselves to one another and to others. I'm so often struck that as much as I wish I could avoid suffering, suffering always gives me an avenue of connection with people I've never known in the depth and capacity that you learn to know and love one another in the midst of suffering. Josiah Royce, a California native who spent his career at Harvard University teaching philosophy, once defined the importance of communities as the place in which we find the ultimate meaning for our life. And as I think about our Montecito community and the way in which we've gathered tonight, this is an opportunity for us to find meaning beyond the tragedy and to gain inspiration for our life. As we celebrate, our program will begin with a procession of 23 candles to represent the 23 members of our community whose absence will always be felt. Candlelighters this evening are individuals and organizations who represent the many hearts and hands throughout our community that have been supporting our healing and recovery over the past 2 years. The candle lighting procession is led tonight by Kerry Baker and her daughter, Summer Baker Corey. At this time, we'd like to ask you to join in a moment of silence as we remember together these lives we've lost and gain hope and inspiration for our own life. Please join me. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Kerry Baker to the stage for a reading.
My name's Kerry Baker Corey, and this is my daughter, Summer. 2 years ago, our lives were changed forever. My 3 daughters and I were swept away in our home by the debris flow. Sawyer and Morgan lost their lives, and by the grace of God, Summer and I survived. With broken bodies and broken hearts, we were left with nothing. Our friends, family, and this beloved community raced to our side with love and compassion. You all held us up when we could not do it ourselves, and we're so grateful. The loss of these young, beautiful lives has changed us in so many ways. We have experienced a sadness we never knew, an emptiness that never goes away. There's no more snuggles, there's no more love. There's no more laughter in the halls of our home. We never knew we could hurt so much. We have also grown stronger than we ever thought possible. We have chosen happiness and gratitude, joy and acceptance. We wake up every day and thank God for this beautiful world we live in and for sparing our lives. We are truly blessed and look forward to the day we are all together again. We'll always carry a bond with Sawyer and Morgan, as they will always be a part of our lives. I'd like to read a Bible verse that resonates with me. Psalm 71, 20 through 22. Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again. From the depths of the earth, you will bring me up. You will increase my honor and comfort me once again.
Now I'd like to introduce Lauren Canton, who is going to perform a song for us this evening.
When you walk through a storm, holy
Hi. I'm going to try to get through this. That one did a number on me. Before I start, I just want to say one thing, which is I don't think I can tell you, as one of the many organizers of this event, how incredibly gracious and welcoming Westmont College has been to the community. And can we just give them a hand? I'd say they rolled out the red carpet, but I think it's actually maroon. So, but it's just been incredible, and thank you all so much. It really means a lot. Tonight we're here to remember the people we've lost, and we're here to remember the people that are still here among us. And it's also important to remember the things that have given us strength and hope since 1/9. When the mountain came down, it broke down walls, it smashed houses, it took away loved ones, our friends and neighbors, but it also broke down invisible walls between us. And immediately it was clear that we're all in this together, like it or not. And in that moment, neighbors went out into the debris with the first responders to help rescue their other neighbors. There are people here tonight who were pulled out of the mud and brought to safety and given shelter and comfort and are here with us tonight because of the compassion and aid of their neighbors. This was the first thread in the community safety net that we've all been building together for the last 2 years. In the aftermath of the disaster, the whole community rose up to help the survivors face the challenge of recovery and the challenge of healing. And we discovered something, and that's that everybody had something to give. Everybody. Whether it was a helping hand to clean up, arms for a hug, ears to just sit and listen, funds for recovery, or the wisdom to help weave the community together. And each of these things added threads to our safety net. And as it is true of a physical safety net, the more threads that are woven in, the stronger the net becomes. The more closely those threads are knit together, the stronger the net becomes. The less chance there is for somebody to fall through. And look how strong we have become by pulling together in the way we have. By being here tonight, you are all affirming that connection and that compassion and that caring, that binds us all together. And I want to thank you all so much for being here. Now, when you lose loved ones, or if you lose a home in a disaster, there's no end date to the healing process. And this is very important. For some people here tonight, and including me, the process of healing has really just begun. For others, it will take years. For some, it will take decades. And for many of us, the healing process will take a lifetime. And just as there is no end date on healing, there's no end date on the need for support of that healing process. When you lose a loved one, you just can't get over it. You have to live through it. And when you're trying to live through it, it's a whole lot easier if there are people around you who are compassionate and patient with your healing and don't stop caring just because another year has gone by. And by showing up tonight, you guys have provided this support and showed that you cared, and that gives all of us a lot of hope, and I hope you can feel it. So since we're here tonight, and we're all together, I'd really like to affirm this commitment that we have and that we've shown to build a stronger and more connected community. Tonight, let's renew this connection, our connection to each other, to honor both those we lost and those that are still here among us. So if you can feel this, and if you feel this with me, I just ask you to take a moment just to stand up. Stand up for 1 second. If all of you would just stand up, stretch your legs just for a second, because by being here tonight and standing up together, this is a demonstration of our commitment to stand together as a community no matter what comes next. I don't know out there if you can feel the energy and the power in this room, but up here it's almost overwhelming. And I want to thank you for it. So While we're here tonight together, let's remember how strong we are when we pull together like this in love and compassion. Let's weave our community safety net so tightly that no one could fall through, because we are all holding on to each other with so much strength and so much love that it is too much for any of us to ever let go. Thank you so much.
This program has 3 components this evening: remembrance, connection, and hope. So we're going to move a little more deeply into the connection portion. We are connected because we are here in this room together, and we are also with the people that are with us on live stream. They are connected to us too. Tonight, we are all together in an immense circle of being, to quote the great poet Rumi. This is a very big circle. It has expanded enormously since 1/9, and it is a place of togetherness, a place of welcoming, a place of inclusiveness. This is a place where we are with each other in a circle of caring about the community. You are here because you care. Caring is the connection that is binding us together. And what is the force that is behind caring? Well, that is love. Tonight, we are connected to each other and with each other by love. And let that little baby talk. It's fine with us. We love children. It's life. We are unlike any other community in the world. We were immensely impacted by a disaster, but then we quickly got on our feet. We helped each other. We dug each other out. We worked to make ourselves resilient so that we can survive. We have pulled together as a community in amazing new ways, and Abe talked about some of those. You should be so proud of your community, and you should think to yourself, I am so lucky to be here. There are also ways in which we are like every other community in the world. We love our babies, no matter how old they are. We love our beloveds and our families and our friends, and we hurt, and we know loss and pain, and we cry. It is through our connection to one another, through losing people that we love, through selflessly helping each other in a time of need and standing together. That is when we experience the true depth of ourselves as human beings. This circle of being, this sense of connectedness that includes all of us here tonight, it also includes those who are no longer with us. Tonight, all are present, and we are all connected with each other. This is the story of Montecito. This is our community. Tonight, we want to introduce you to Lalo, who is a beautiful human being and a survivor. We want to create a space now for him to open and for you to open, as he's going to share a very personal experience with you of gratitude for this community. And what we're going to do is wrap our arms emotionally around him right now as he makes his way on the stage. So please take a moment to center yourself in your heart and say welcome to Lalo.
Hey. Thank you all very much for coming. This means a lot to me. And I think the song that Lauren sang was just amazing. And it really does hit me in a way that being alone in this would have been too much. And even though I have a strong family background, a lot of friends, this community was an extra push that I needed to make it through this. And I can't thank each and every one of you, but just know that I'm grateful for all the help and contribution you did to my getting to this point. So for those of you who may not know me, I'm also known as Ralph Barajas, but many of you know me as Lalo. And I was also carried away out of my home that morning. I was fortunate enough to hang on to an oak tree long enough to get off and make my way to my neighbor's house, in which I encountered other people that were struggling with their lives as well. Unfortunately, my partner, Peter, of 17 years, did not make it. So Anyway, from that moment going forward, it seemed like you could just see this community coming together. Family, volunteers, first responders, everybody just took action, and it was amazing to witness that. And I want to recount maybe a few things that happened that morning as a way of just saying my witnessing of this. So when we finally made it out in ambulance, we ended up at All Saints by the Sea, and immediately you saw neighbors coming with food, water, coffee, donuts, clothes, and they brought me a pair of pants that was way too long for me and way too big, and luckily I had a belt and I was able to keep them on. And as they came around with shoes, there was no shoes that was my size. And there was a doctor there volunteering, and he took a look at my feet and he said, "Hang on a second." And he went back into his car and came back with a pair of shoes that were a perfect fit. It just so happens that I knew this guy from Cottage Hospital, and I offered to bring him back the shoes when I was done with them. He says, no, those are your shoes from now on. So anyway, that was one maybe simple, small thing, but it was amazing for me at that moment. And while we were in the church, took us several hours, and I kept on coming out to check on Kerry, who was there with us, and I was really concerned about her well-being. And at one point, somebody caught my eye outside, a neighbor that was coming, and she looked at me and she saw that I was a mud ball and basically said, "Would you like a shower?" And I said, "Yes." So she said, "You stay right there. I'm going to send my husband over to come in and he'll pick you up." So sure enough, he showed up. They were only a few blocks away, and I got to their home, and I took the longest shower ever because every time I thought it was fully clean, there was just more mud coming out. But anyway, that was another amazing small thing that just was a beautiful thing for me. So finally making it out of Montecito, we got to the Vaughns where they had like shuttles of buses to take us to City College. And I remember making my way out, and it just seemed like I was in two worlds because there were still clouds over Montecito, there was still a lot of devastation, but as soon as I started to come out and come by the bird refuge area, it just looked like an amazing, beautiful day. And I couldn't believe that these two dualities were happening at the same time. So as I'm looking forward at the blue skies and beauty of Santa Barbara, I look over my right shoulder back to Montecito, and I could see a double rainbow. And I just thought, how can this be? There's two things existing at once. But that was a big thing for me as well. So there's been a lot of people that have come to help me through a lot of things. And I want to make a special thank you to Layla, because she's one of the first people who reached out to me. And she's been helping me through this amongst many other people, but she's been a special person for me. I have something that happened actually just 6 months ago to the day, after a few days of just different things that kept on lining up, and I couldn't explain it, but it just seemed like there was some God or whatever you want to call it, but something was speaking to me. And I remember there was an event that happened with Bucket Brigade for working on the trails, and I hadn't planned to go there, but someone sent me a notice, and I realized that it was on my partner's birthday, the 8th, and I canceled all my plans, and I decided I needed to do this. And I remember being up on the trail and feeling that Peter was there with me. But the following day, the 9th, it was very heavy in my mind about, it's a 1.5-year anniversary of what had happened. So I took a yoga class, and at the beginning of the class, the instructor says, "I'd like to do a little meditation first." That's, typical. But as he says, "Please, everyone, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine a lotus flower, the most beautiful lotus flower you've ever seen. And then he goes on to say, this flower, in order to bloom and be this beautiful, needs to come out of mud and muck. And I just thought, what a thing to say on the 1 year-and-a-half anniversary. So through the whole class, I'm kind of trying to take this all in. And at the end of the class, he decides he wants to read a poem, which he rarely does, but he did this day. So I think it was meant for me. And I just want to read this poem. It's by Rumi, and it's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them all at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And that was a big turning point for me to not think so much of the tragedy, but of all the beauty that came out of this community. And I just am forever grateful for that. Thank you.
Okay, now we'd like you to connect a little more to your community. So I'd like you to stand up, if you don't mind. Go ahead. Turn and look around the room and try to lock eyes with someone you don't know. Try to find someone you don't know. And now I'd like you to introduce yourself to that person. And I'd like you to tell them one thing that you love about this community and one thing that is your hope for the future. We'll give you about a minute to do that. Kevin, you didn't meet anybody. You met two. And if you've already finished talking to your person, you can meet another person if you'd like to and expand your community connections. Kevin, you got to talk to somebody. Yep. Okay, make a date for coffee, and you can go ahead and take your seats. And I hope everybody got to meet at least one person tonight that you didn't know in your community. Okay, show of hands. Who met somebody new? Who met somebody? Oh, good. All right. Very good job. I'm also the chair of the Behavioral Wellness Commission for Santa Barbara County, and the Behavioral Wellness Department provided a great deal of services to our community, both during the disaster and after, and on an ongoing basis. We think we now maybe have one of the best models of mental health trauma medicine in the entire state of California, and my assembly rep's here, so I really want her to hear that. I would love to introduce you to Suzanne Grima, who also works for the Department of Behavioral Wellness and was here on the ground with us all the way through. Suzanne, come on.
Good evening. My name is Suzanne Grima, and I do work with the County of Santa Barbara, the Department of Behavioral Wellness, and chair the Community Wellness Team. The Community Wellness Team formed in December of 2017, initially in response to the impact of the Thomas Fire and the 1/9 debris flow. Although this team is clearly here to stay and has been involved in multiple community tragedies since its formation. The Community Wellness Team is a collaboration of multiple organizations and agencies working together to support the wellness of our community. If you look around the crowd tonight, I see dark, but I'm assuming you can see otherwise. You'll see blue vests. Maybe blue vests can wave. The blue vests out there are a representation of our Community Wellness Team. They're here tonight to provide support for you, but they're also here ongoing. So I encourage you to reach out and connect this evening. I don't need to tell you that we're a strong community, strong and resilient. We heal together, and we do this really well. I recall so many examples of how we healed together and supported each other after the 1/9 debris flow 2 years ago. Our local American Institute of Architects chapter met with homeowners to help in redesigning homes according to new needs. The incredible unity brought about by the Bucket Brigade. Neighborhoods within the Montecito area came together to discuss unique needs and strategies. The Montecito Center lent a common gathering place for community to seek resources and support. Montecito churches opening their doors to people in need. Community dinners held throughout the area. It's not the number of counseling organizations or therapists that a community has that strengthens the support. It's how these groups and people are organized. And more than that, we may not have an equal number of therapists to support those in our community in need, but we have each other. And if you look around tonight, it's very easy to see we have more than enough support to heal. We have each other. This is a night of remembrance. It may bring to surface feelings and memories. And as you sit in your chair tonight, some of us might sit tonight feeling healed. Others may feel like they are still healing. Some may feel like they will never heal. Some may feel a sense of reality and permanence that was not felt last year when we sat together. And some may feel like superheroes, stronger than they've ever felt before. And all of that is normal. Some important tips, things to remember as we go through this process together of healing and on the anniversary date. Talk, share experiences, share memories, share feelings. Take good care of yourself. Exercise, move your bodies, eat well, keep your routines, stay close with family and friends. If you're not feeling strong tonight, tomorrow, another day, don't be afraid to seek professional help and support. If you are feeling strong, be there for someone else who's not. These kinds of tips are also posted on the Raising Our Light website under the Care and Resources section, which you will also see the listing of all the Community Wellness Team organizations and the phone number. The phone number for the Community Wellness Team is 805-364-2750 and remains available ongoing. I now have the pleasure to introduce to you two very special people. Dr. Amy Alzina is the superintendent of Cold Springs School District, and Anthony Rene is the superintendent of the Montecito Union School District. Please welcome Amy and Anthony.
Good evening. Tonight is about continuing to lean on each other, but it's also about hope. For Anthony and I, our students are what give us hope each and every day. They give us the love, joy, and courage to make each day better than the next. We thought you might enjoy hearing some of the voices from our students, so we interviewed them as they were running around the playground, and we asked them, what does hope mean to you? So we'll start with our kindergarten students. So one of my kindergarten students, Kara, said, hope is hoping for someone to come to my house, like my cousins.
And kindergartner Scarlett said, I hope the tooth fairy will come.
And Ravi, our student born without any eyeballs, who's entering the stage right now, said, hope is caring about the world and about my family.
Tyler remarked, you don't know if it's going to happen, but you want it to happen soon, and you think it will really happen. You hope.
Second grade students, Luke said, hope is believing that you can do it. It's encouragement.
And Magnolia said, it means a lot of things, like, I hope you have a nice day, or I hope you feel better, or maybe I hope you go someplace together with me later.
Third grade student Elsie said, hope is being excited and enthusiastic that something will happen.
And wise Cassia said, you believe something can happen to you. If you're going through something, you're hopeful it will get better.
Our upper grade students, starting with fourth grade, said, Max, hope is to inspire an idea. It's thinking of a reason to drive forward.
And Kate said something so wise it could be a mantra. Something it means to me is you always have faith and trust in yourself, and you never let it go.
Fifth grade student Maria said, hope is looking forward to something you don't have yet, but that you want to have in the future.
Luke gave me chills when he said, it's like when you are in your darkest point and there's nothing to help you, you have hope and you find the light.
And sixth grade, or wise ones, Jack said, hope gives you courage, like when people are cheering you on in a race, even though you're in last place. Their encouragement gives you hope to keep doing your best.
While Rosie said, it means that even if you are in a dark time, you believe that something good will come. If you are struggling with something, you still kind of believe you'll have something good in your path, in your future. My personal definition of hope aligns with these words of wisdom from the children of Montecito. And in addition, one of our staff members reminded me of this poem by Emily Dickinson, which further illustrates what hope means to me. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
And now we'd like to introduce the people in my life that give me hope each and every day. Cold Springs parents, Elizabeth Ganella, Rene Doctor, and our music teacher, Sarah DeSalvo, as well as the all Montecito Schools Children Chorus.
Good evening. My name is Rene Doctor, and I'm really grateful to be here tonight and just share a little bit about my story. This community is unbelievable to me, and I was thinking about the word community, come unity, right? And just my home was destroyed in the mudslide, and when I found out, the first time I went back to my house, I was walking through the mud, and I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do, and I was looking through all the things that were there. Everything that was taken from our garage, you know, all your keepsakes, your children's art, your clothing that doesn't fit, and just everything. And I was looking through the mud, and I looked down and I saw a book that was looking up at me, and it's called Start From Where You Are. And one of the things that really helped me, I'm a singer and a songwriter, and there's a community of song circles that happen around town. You can see me after. I'll invite you. Everyone's invited. We can do it tonight, actually. You're invited to sing with us and the choir. And that's been incredibly healing for me to just gather and sing just together and be with you. So I wrote a song called Start From Here, and we're going to sing it with you tonight. Please join us. You guys ready? Start from here. Start from where you are. 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 Start from here. Start from where you are.
What a beautiful evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have had a wonderful time to focus on remembrance, on connections, and hope. And let's not let it stop here. Let's continue to make those connections. It's been an honor to have you here at Westmont, truly an honor for us to host this. We want you to continue the program. As you leave this evening, there's soup and hot coffee and cookies outside. It's a little cold out there, so feel free to bring it right back into the gym. We're going to kick on the heaters again. We want you to stay as long as you want. We want you to meet others. And we just want to encourage you too, as I take all this in myself, that we're here for each other, that it is truly about connecting, supporting, loving, and caring for one another. So have a wonderful evening, and thank you for being here.
you.